Howdy. Welcome back to Kaiju Noir. That's all I have for this intro. It's gonna be a shorter video today, so let's go ahead and get started with Chapter 9. The Lakeside Museum? The Lakeside Museum. The most opulent and well-guarded collection of cultural artifacts in the city. That Lakeside Museum? Unless there's a local artist commune with the same name, then yes. A vault underneath it, to be precise. Have you lost your mind? I'm asking you seriously here. Think about it, Alex. She won't be expecting us to go after it. Not so soon after she sent those goons after me. She'll be up in her lair gloating about squashing the private eye. Meanwhile, we'll be pilfering her ill-gotten treasure. This is all just some big game to you, isn't it, Cari? Alex taps his claws on his desk fitfully. I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense that Onikoga would stash the idol there. It's a fortress that even a mega kaiju would find hard to crack. It practically has Dragon Horde carved into the frontage. Which is exactly the place I'd be keeping a huge ruby idol I'd stolen. Museums are traditionally the resting places for stolen cultural treasures, after all. And there she could be smug, knowing that possibly the most valuable artifact to our kind is sitting in her vaults. Under our noses. My nose, you don't have one. Under my gills, then. Don't be a pedant. Did Xander say they could help us get the damn thing? Eventually. They have a thick hide, but I managed to talk my way into their heart. They say they know a way in, some secret entrance from the days they used to work for Onikogo. I'd like to hear that story sometime. That's what I have a feeling there's a lot more history between the two than they're letting on. We can also use their boat to get out there. I don't think the commuter ferry would be the wisest way to smuggle out a giant ruby. We could just say we got it from the gift shop. So what's the plan then? In an ideal world where everything works out perfectly, we boat over to the museum, sneak in the back door, grab the idol, get out, hand it over to Xander, cash in, retire to the outskirts. After this week, the idea of escaping to a quiet life under a volcano sounds wonderful. Do you really think it's going to be that easy? Hell no. I think we're probably going to die. A gentle knocking rattles the door. If that's death, tell her she's early. We're late. Either way, she needs to make an appointment. Alex opens the door to reveal a nervous-looking kaiju. Ah, Miss Maxera. Cari and I were just talking about you. She walks across the room towards you, Alex following close behind her, ever the protector. Miss Maxera, what a pleasure to see you again. I'd offer you a drink, but I know you prefer yours with something extra in it, and I'm all out of tranquilizers. That was a cheap shot, Detective, but I deserved it. You deserve more than that. Can you say what you're feeling now, please, so we can move on with our lives? Funny you should mention our lives. What do you mean? I mean Laura's dead, Max. Not sure if you'd heard, so I felt it only right to tell you now. He's dead? Afraid so. How did it happen? Same way I got this shiny new scar across my back. Same reason I need to buy a new coat. That's coming out of the expenses, by the way. Kaiju tailoring isn't cheap. I'm sorry, Detective. I didn't know. How would you, Max? You didn't kill him or attack me. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this little conversation. Trust me. Alex taps his cane meaningfully. I'm sorry. I didn't realize things had gotten this bad. How much do you know? Nothing, I swear. I paid my contact to get the idol through the gates and into a safe drop-off location. No questions asked. When I went looking for them, I found out they had had an industrial accident. There was nothing at the drop-off. When they died, I ran. You know the rest. I'm not a killer, Cari, I swear. No, you aren't. You're a lot of things, but not a killer. At least not yet. Lord died when he went poking around for the rock when he found out you didn't have it. We know who ordered the hit, and we have a solid guess where the idol is now. You do? Where is it? Why should we tell you, Miss Maxera? You haven't exactly been a font of trustworthiness up to this point. Because I can help get it back. If you'll let me. You look over to Alex, who nods knowingly and taps the side of his glasses. She has done some shady things, but admittedly it was basically all in the name of self-preservation, and I can't fault anybody for that. We are playing as the hopeful this playthrough, so let's pick the first option. Tell me the truth, Max, because I need to hear it. If you know what truth means. Alex, please. I need to know if you're going to stab me in the back. If we take you to get the idol, are you with us to the end? How dangerous is it going to get? Very. The current owner has already demonstrated how sharp her claws are, and will no doubt try again before the night is out. Will you stand with us, or should we leave you behind? If by some miracle we make it, you'll get your cut either way. You're giving me the option? Yes. Reluctantly. I'll stand by your side. I promise. No cutting and running? No. I promise. Even if things go bad? Even then. And no more drugging Cari. It's hard enough getting them to do any work without you making them sleep all night. Hush, Alex. She doesn't need to hear that. I promise. No drugs. No running. I want to see this thing out. To the end. I owe you that much. Good. Then welcome to the team. And once we're done, we've got something else to talk about. Something important. More important than risking death for a giant ruby? Even more than that, Max. Hard as it is to believe. We've quite a bit to fill you in from the past few nights. Then, if you're still on board, meet us at the docks in about an hour. We have a boat to catch. The docks on the city side of the lake are practically empty this time of night. A police barge and a couple of cargo boats bob gently against unseen currents. Off in the distance you see lights flickering from tunnels that stretch into the endless underground, to kaiju cities you've never visited. I don't know why, but the water has always been calming to me. Is that weird? Yes, it's weird. You're a fire breather, Cari. Water is your natural enemy. I like to think the water and I have made peace. I don't burn it, it doesn't drown me. Across the water you can see the bulbous bulk of the Lakeside Museum. One of the oldest buildings in the city. Less of a construction, more of a geode, holding the glittering jewels of aristocracy. Eat the rich. Smash open their vaults to feed the masses. Let their kind live in fear. What's that from? A thing the humans say. Of course, they're less likely to actually eat each other from what I hear. Maybe that's why they won. Not actually eating each other all the time. They won because they'd rather a planet with no life on it than one where they aren't in charge. A sentiment shared by plenty down here. At the end, it was looking like there wasn't going to be anything left of either of us. I guess we got off easy. The pair of you stare out across the lauder. That's not a word. Let me try that again. The pair of you stare out across the water. Soft light from Zilla's balls reflecting off the surface. That's never not going to be silly to me. What the hell are we doing here, Cari? Is this all worth it? The deception? The death? Why are we going through with this damn scheme? Because I want to do the right thing, Alex. I want things to be better. Everything that's happened these last few nights, they all point to a way to make this city a better place, at least in some small way. If If we can walk away from tonight, not having to scrape to survive, and get to rob from the rich in the process, that sounds like a good outcome to me. You're a real dreamer, Cari. Next thing you'll be giving our cut of the deal to charity. We are a charity. But right now, so is Maxra. Even Xander, in their way, needs us. So where does that leave us tonight? Tonight, we get the idol back. We shove Onikogo's snout in failure for once in her life. We win for once in ours. My detective, you speak with such conviction. You sound ready to charge into the very maw of hell itself. Is that usual for someone in your line of work? I wouldn't know. As far as I'm aware, I'm the only private detective this city has ever had. That must make you easy to track down, at least. For better or worse. Xander, may I introduce my charming assistant, Elixirus? He will be assisting us in tonight's impossible mission. Bum, 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 bum. Pleasure to meet the architect of this adventure in larceny. Indeed. I apologize that this whole affair has proven to be far more exciting than expected. You could say that. We're not the kind of kaiju that expect a lot of excitement in our lives. It's a shame that poor Lore was not around to be part of this. I know they would have proven most capable. Shall we make our move, detective? The night is passing and we have much to do. They indicate one of the barges moored to the dock. We can head off shortly. We have one more member of our little team to arrive. You spoke of this to someone else, detective? I expected better of you than to bring in someone from the outside. Oh, they aren't from the outside, Xander. In fact, she's more closely involved with the idol than you'd think. You actually waited for me, Cari. I'm surprised. I wouldn't leave without you, Max. We wouldn't be here without you, after all. Aha! You would be the contractor the late Lore brought on board to import the statue. That I am. The name's Maxra. You will be Xander? My reputation precedes me. A pleasure to meet such a delightful creature. If only we'd met under more favorable conditions. I am sorry about what happened to Lore. He was a good kaiju. Nonsense. He was a drunkard and a brute. But he was my friend all the same. I'm going to miss him. Tonight, we shall make the puppet master of his demise pay for what she did to him. I hope your boat is big enough to take us all across the lake, Xander. I know you didn't expect the extra assistance. And we have a lot to do tonight. I'm not making multiple trips. My craft is more than suitable. Our course is a small inlet on the far side of the island, over on the other side of those indistinct smudges in the background. If we travel without light, we should go unnoticed until we arrive. From there, we enter the museum through the service tunnel Xander has used before, and we locate the idol. Alex will remain with the boat in case we need to make a quick getaway. More like a moderate getaway. I don't move too fast these days. What do you need me to do, Cari? I've never been part of a heist before. Ah, Max. We'll need you to watch our backs. A role of vital importance. Xander hasn't been in the museum in years, so we don't know what to expect. Can you put up much of a fight, Miss Maxera? You wouldn't believe what I've had to fight for in my life, Xander. You should worry about yourself, old monster. You're looking to be getting on in centuries. The petulance of youth. You're little more than a hatchling, my dear. Wait till you see what life has in store. Not your dear. And I know what life has in store. I'm ready to bite back. Now can we get a move on? I'd like to get the idol before I'm fossilized like this one here. Glad to see you two are getting along so well already. I'm surprised no one has thrown a punch yet. Maybe after all this is over. For now, the night is passing and we've got a rock to rescue. Will all those heading to the Lakeside Museum please form an orderly line on board the craft? Tonight's movie will be The Big Stomp. Drinks and light snacks will be served during our voyage. We're all going to die, aren't we? Most certainly. But what fun it's going to be in the meantime. But before that, I'll leave you all off on a cliffhanger. It's funny how Xander is in the screenshot of exactly half of these saves. I think we've got just one more video to go. Should be able to finish things off next time. I guess we'll see. But until then, thanks for watching everybody. I appreciate it. Bye now.